This is all about P for personal. So we've actually had a look at observing decisions, interesting, both good and bad, and you can write your assessments on either. Second one was how we saw a culture of bounded rationality in can lead to the collapse of major corporations, which is quite amazing when you think about it. The third one is P for personal. So whether you're in nursing, agriculture, aeronautical, mining, construction, or even none of the above, and you may be in marketing or engineering, this doesn't matter. The reality is when you look at this third paper, think about it from a personal aspect, and it becomes a little tricky when you look at this. Let me use an example from my world, marketing world. Just imagine a situation. Just say this is you. You're an individual, and your claim to fame is that you're really good at naming products, right? So your company has a new product. This product here, your job is to name the product. Now, depending on your personality type, and I'll guarantee you've met some of these managers, you may need to go to the meeting with an open mind. That doesn't necessarily always happen, does it? So let's say the person who's the marketing manager has already come up with the name in their own mind. They're going to go to the meeting, they're going to listen to everybody else, kind of, sort of. They're going to listen, but they've already made up their own mind. Sound familiar? The people going to the meeting, right? They're going to come along in a sense they've probably had some groupthink going on behind them before the meeting and said, hey, listen, Fred's going to make the decision anyway, so what's the matter? What's the point of us even turning up? So there's some social loafing. There's definitely some attribution theory, and there's definitely a sense of groupthink. See all those things coming in? Well, the other problem that you've got, Fred is really well known in the company as great at naming products, so there's a sense of a halo effect around this individual. Again, this could be in nursing or mining engineering, it doesn't matter. So it sets up a poor decision making often, not all the time, but often. So then what happens is you go to the meeting, at the end of all of this gathering the information, Fred makes a decision that's called ABC. Sounds like, okay, what could go wrong there? Well, here's what could go wrong. Because Fred, because of his ego, he's decided he's a narcissistic Machiavellian, whatever. He's decided that is the decision. Almost like doesn't want to listen to anything else. Basically, set up a culture of bounded rationality. From that, what happens next is quite amazing. That later on, say 3 months into it, we find out that somebody in another country, America or somewhere, has already named a product like this ABC. Uh-oh, now what? Well, that's a kind of a black swan event. There's no doubt because Fred didn't, look at the rational decision-making model, jump through steps. Essentially, his ego led to a culture of bounded rationality, uncertainty and risk. And then that leads us to another thing that I haven't spoken about. What about the ethical point of view? Now, often people will look at this and say, well, there's no ethics involved, right? People think ethics, they think legal. Try and think about, let's say, the small e in ethics, the personal ethics or the professional ethics. Frankly, have a think about this. Didn't Fred let his ego get in the way of ethics in this particular situation? Aren't there stockholders and shareholders out there, or even the private company that's going to have to pay the price of redoing all this again, right? Or even worse, if they went to market with it and then have to, put up with some type of litigation. The point is, what you've got to do at the conclusion of this vodcast is start to look at yourself. And if in fact you can look at yourself in these equations, it becomes a wonderful thing because you can come out of this whole situation understanding more about who you are, and you can then learn how to navigate the turbulence rather than be in the turbulence, which can be uh, not good for your career. It's better to actually know who you are in the puzzle and what sort of manager you're going to make. Because often the ego and some of these personality types can get in the way of really good decision making. Thank you.